It didn't begin with thunder, it began with obedience. 7 days, that's what God gave. 7 days for the final preparations. 7 days before judgment would fall. While the world laughed, Noah listened. While others built comfort, Noah built the ark. And now the door stood open. Entering the ark. "Go into the ark," God had said, "you and all your household, for I have seen that you are righteous before me in this generation." Noah didn't hesitate, not after decades of warning, not after decades of being ridiculed. He gathered his family, his wife, his sons Shem, Ham, and Japheth, their wives too. 8 people stepping forward in faith into something they couldn't fully understand. Behind them the animals came, 2 by 2, clean animals in 7s. Birds filled the skies, landing without fear. Beasts of the earth walked with calm. No commands were shouted, no nets were thrown. Creation obeyed its creator. The world watched, confused and mocking, but Noah didn't answer them. His work was done. His witness had been given. The door of the ark stood open, one last invitation to a dying world. But no one else entered. The final day. 7 days passed inside the ark. The outside world remained unchanged. Clear skies, dry ground, mockery from afar. And then it happened. The fountains of the deep burst forth. Water shot up from the earth like arrows from the heart of the land. At the same time, the heavens split open and rain, hard, relentless, divine, began to fall. In one moment, the impossible became real. The flood began, and then the door closed, not by Noah, but by God. The door shut, sealed with divine finality. It was over. Judgment falls. Rain poured for 40 days and 40 nights. Rivers turned into oceans. Cities became waves. Mountains were swallowed like pebbles. The cries began slowly, screams from the lowlands, panic from the hills. People ran, climbed, fought to survive. But there was no higher ground left. Noah and his family sat in silence, not because they were indifferent, but because they could do nothing more. They had warned, they had built, they had obeyed. Now they waited. The Ark rises. The Ark was lifted, carried by chaos, yet never capsized. It floated above the judgment, above the rage of water and the brokenness below. Everything beneath the surface was gone: temples, towers, traditions, pride, all silenced by the flood. But inside the ark, there was life. Not comfort, not luxury, but life preserved by grace. For 150 days, the waters surged. The ark drifted, directionless but protected. Noah didn't ask when it would end. He simply trusted that God, who had shut the door, would also open it again. Only Noah remained. Outside, the world had been undone. Inside, faith endured. The text says it simply, only Noah was left, and those who were with him in the ark. Not because he was powerful, not because he was perfect, but because he obeyed when no one else would. In a world full of rebellion, Noah's righteousness became the bridge to a new beginning. Reflection. The flood wasn't just destruction, it was reset, renewal. A judgment wrapped in mercy. The sealed door wasn't rejection, it was protection. And for all the terror of the waters, the greater fear would have been missing that door before it closed. The rains have ceased. The storm is over, but Noah still waits. The ark rests on the mountains of Ararat. Birds are released, and Noah, patient and faithful, will build the first altar after the flood. Genesis 8, the waters recede and worship rises. Coming next.